Hi and welcome to another wonderful episode of Loaded Chicklet, and joining me on my panel I have my usual bunch of lovely ladies. And with the theme of the show today, actually the first book we're talking about is about an Amish woman who escaped from her community, and I think that actually you guys would fit quite well in the Amish community. Well, other than you, Mary. Not you.
I escaped from the Amish. I escaped from Amish country, Pennsylvania.
But the fact that you've all got buttons and not zips is one of...
No, they don't use buttons. They use pins.
They use pins. They're not allowed to use zips, or they're not allowed to use machinery, I guess, to make things. Is that why?
Yeah, but I'm actually not wearing any buttons.
We'd be brought in as examples of how not to behave, I think.
Yeah.
Than anything else.
I think we're like we would be kicked out immediately.
I don't think I'd be kicked out.
They'd be unimpressed. You would definitely be kicked out.
Yeah.
So the first book is written by Ruth Irene Garrett, and it's basically her kind of memoir of her experience of living in the Amish community and then escaping from it after she finds someone she falls in love with. Who's not Amish. And obviously she's done something incredibly controversial and against the community and the family and everything like that. Did you find it a good read? Did you find it gripping, interesting?
I didn't find it gripping. In fact, I think she's just basically, anyone could write a book if that's been published. I could write about a book about my escape from Wrexham.
And one from Croydon.
And yeah, from Croydon. Yeah. And no, I don't know. There was no point to the story. It was like, she didn't talk about Amish that much, and then she talked about falling in love with this 90-year-old.
Well, I mean, but I think she had a story to tell, but I don't think she really told it well. Like, I mean, she padded it with a lot of letters and things, and I would have liked for her to explain more about her life when she was living, as an Amish woman. And I feel like she had this great story to tell, and it just, she wasn't the best writer. She didn't tell it that well.
She had a ghostwriter.
She had a ghostwriter.
She
paid for the ghostwriter.
It was
Not a
just
ghostwriter, yeah.
just to do with the publishing, and he...
I think he helped her as well.
He wrote it all.
Yeah, he actually went and did interviews. He went back to the community to
Yeah,
talk
no,
to people as well.
yeah, they didn't really, they snubbed him a bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
You did?
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting to find. I mean, I didn't know much about the community, so it was really interesting to kind of get her insight and find out about the religion. And she fell in love, and I'm a bit soppy, and I kind of like that. And it's controversial on so many levels, and I love that because he was older and not from the community. And I thought it was really interesting that it's in America, but they call everyone English, which was quite funny. I was like,
Yeah,
kind of got that wrong on the first point, let alone all the other issues that are in the book.
I actually come from, it's called Amish country in the US, Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I could tell.
You
Yeah.
escaped, didn't you?
Yeah, I escaped.
In fact, I think
escaped.
that might be you.
It's actually my
Should we just
autobiography.
ask you about your experience?
Yeah. Clearly not actually Amish, but yeah. So it was quite interesting because I grew up, literally driving behind buggies and buying, fruit and vegetables mostly vegetables from Amish people. Yeah. So it was quite an interesting thing to read. But yeah, I would have liked more of that.
I really believe everyone's allowed to be who they want to be, do what they want to do, and think what they want to think. It's up to them. I just think living a life where you're actually stopping yourselves from real natural emotions. These are things you're born with. We naturally trust that our parents are going to look after us when we're born. Yeah. That's immediately a show of love. But then to have that stripped from you, I just think it's really, really sad. And maybe because of that, I got all gushy and fell in love with the love story bit.
But
I was like, she's feeling love and she's having sex and yay. She's painting her
She was a bit of a
nails,
rebel
shaving her
when she
legs.
went
Go girl.
Yeah.
But her parents weren't, like, they let her go. They told her to come back. It's not like, some extreme religions where she'd be dragged.
No, but they waited for her at certain places, but they worked out they'd be waiting at the printers. They worked out they'd be waiting at the family home. So, what would have happened if they did meet? Because those letters, I stopped reading the letters as soon as it went into that kind of funny text. I missed it out because it was so manipulative and so sad.
But at the same time, every person who's Amish has chosen it.
It's weird who she fell in love with. I mean, come on, of all the guys that you're going to run away with, why would you run away with Otis?
I imagined him to look a bit like Brian Blessed. I don't know why.
He does sound a
I
little
hope
bit
he sounded like him, like that
Yeah, I
voice.
bet he did.
But I guess
Great.
one thing about her is she doesn't value anything from the outside because they're not brought up to think like that. So she just loved him for him.
She's right. They're right about one thing. It's like inner beauty.
Yeah.
So she's right that I don't need to wear makeup.
What would you rate this out of 10? Recommend it as a read?
Yeah, I mean,
Insightful.
I don't think it's as informative as I wanted it to be. So for
Yeah.
that reason, I'll give it 5.
5.
I am, interested in the Amish because I grew up around them. But I thought she would have had such a good story to tell, and it was just not written well and kind of padded. So I'm going to give it a 4 because it could have been so much more.
I really liked it. It's easy to read. I like easy stuff. I like a love story. 7.
I'm going to give it I think I'm going to give it a 4. I thought it could have been a little bit more insightful. We could have learnt a lot more about the community and her life. So that is Crossing Over by Ruth Irene Garrett.